Hello everyone! Today we will be talking about capturing surplus. So, what is capturing surplus? In economics, it refers to a seller's ability to extract larger portion of the economic surplus, which is the difference between the price a consumer is willing to pay and the price they actually pay, or the consumer surplus. And it is also the difference between the price a producer is willing to sell at and the price they actually receive, or which is the producer surplus. Essentially, it means a seller is making more profit than they would be able to if they were only charging the minimum price needed to make a sale. So, to dive deeper, producer surplus is when a producer are able to sell goods and services more than their cost of production. They capture a surplus or a profit. This surplus is the difference between the price they receive and the price they would be willing to accept, or their minimum acceptable price. For example, if a manufacturer can produce a product for $50 but sells it for $80, they capture a $30 surplus. And talking about consumer surplus, it means consumers capture a surplus when they can purchase a good or services at a price lower than they were willing to pay due to competition or other factors. For instance, if a consumer is willing to pay $10 for a product but finds it for $7, they have a surplus of $3. And now, let's talk about the economic surplus. The economic surplus is the sum of both consumer and producer surplus. It represents the overall benefit to society from a transaction or market. Let us take the price discrimination as an example of consumer surplus. Price discrimination allows businesses to capture more surplus, essentially by charging different prices to a different types of consumers. This can lead to increased profits for the business as they are able to extract more value from consumers who are willing to pay more. And now, moving on, let's talk about capturing surplus in an imperfect competitive market. So, in an imperfect competitive markets, firms with market power can capture consumer surplus by charging higher prices than they would be in a perfectly competitive market, converting it into producer surplus or the profit. This can occur through various pricing strategies, including price discrimination and setting prices above marginal cost. So, to elaborate further, in perfect competition, firms have some degree of market power, meaning they can influence the price of their products or services without losing all the customers. This power stems from factors like product differentiation, barriers to entry, or limited competition. But how about in a perfect competition? So, capturing surplus in a perfect competition, neither consumers nor producers can capture the entire surplus. Consumer surplus is the benefit consumers receive from paying less than their willingness to pay, while producer surplus is the benefit producers receive from selling at a price above their cost. The sum of these surpluses, or total surplus, is maximized at the equilibrium price and quantity. So, to elaborate further, perfect competition market, there are many buyers and sellers, all of whom are price takers. This means they cannot influence the market price and the price is determined by the interaction of supply and demand.
And that ends our capturing surplus discussion. I hope you've learned something. Thank you.